The House will come to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Kohler, please take the roll. Okay, let's take the roll.
Representatives Becker, Buck, Buckner, Conti, Quorum, Court excused, Del Grosso, Dorr, Duran, Everett, Exum, Fields, Fisher, Foote, Garcia, Gardner, Giroux, Janal, Hamner, Holbert, Hollinghorst, Humphrey, Joshi, Kagan, Kraft-Tharp, Labuda, Landgraf, Lawrence, Lebsock, Lee, May, Representative May, McCann, McLaughlin, McNulty, he's here, Melton, Mitch Bush, Moreno, Murray, Navarro, Nordberg, Pabon, Peniston, Pedersen, Primavera, Priola, Rankin, Rosenthal, Ryden, Representative Ryden, President, Sane, Salazar,
I'm not going to let him just shove stuff through.
Schaefer, Scott excused, Singer, Sonnenberg, Stevens, Swam, Zabo, Tyler, Vigil, Waller excused, Williams, Wilson, Wright, Young, Speaker Ferrandino.
Morning, Corey. With 62 members present, 3 excused, a quorum is present. Representative Dorr.
Mr. Speaker, I move the reading of the Journal for May 1st be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Announcements and introductions. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to welcome a group of school kids from...
Representative Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to note that Representative Everett and I were both here on time. The traffic on I-25 was not a problem coming in from Parker. Good morning, everybody. Have a great day.
Representative Peniston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, Monday, May 5th is Melanoma Monday, and there will be technicians down in one of the conference rooms in the basement that can actually take an impression of your face. That's not the right word, but it's too late for me to think of the right word. But they can actually help you see where some of the trouble spots are on your face and neck and that area. So you ought to stop by and have that done.
Representative McCann.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of Health Insurance and Environment Committee, listen up. We're going to have a meeting later today about 2 o'clock this afternoon. We will be meeting and we will be listening to Senate Bill 201. So put that in your schedule today at 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Representative Mitch Bush and Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, they're still skiing. A-Basin's still open. And if you put your skins on your skis or your wax, you can hike up any mountain in Colorado way up high, Independence Pass, Parkview, any of them. And it's great skiing. It'll be great skiing until July.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Whatever she said, I don't know how she said it, but yes, there is still snow up there. There's plenty to enjoy in the high country. If we ever get out of here, please enjoy it and have a great weekend.
Representative Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to introduce my school group.
The minority leader already beat you to that joke. Representative Giroux.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would invite you all to come to my house. I do steaming and ironing in the morning. And I don't ski, I just iron. And take stains out of my clothing. So.
Okay. Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our dynamite, wonderful Transportation Committee will be meeting today at noon. Bring your brown bag lunch, and we're going to be hearing Senate Bill 197, noon today.
Representative Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the Business, Labor, Economic Workforce Development Committee, we will be hearing Senate Bill 210 after the Legislative Council Committee meets. See you there.
Representative Melton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want you to welcome former Representatives Holbert, Sonnenberg.
Okay, let's go on.
Oh, wait, not yet. Ferrandino. I'm sorry, never mind.
Any further real announcements or introductions? Seeing none, Madam Majority Leader. Oh, actually, sorry. Reports of committees of reference.
Committee on Finance, after consideration on the merits committee recommends following Senate Bill 190 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations.
Thank you, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the following bills be added to the top of the special orders calendar for today, May 2nd at 12:13 a.m.
Seeing no objection, the bills listed by the Majority Leader be... Madam Majority Leader, did you list the bills?
Bills are.
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you. Sorry. Madam Majority Leader.
And the bills are, Mr. Speaker, Senate Bill 212, Senate Bill 209, Senate Bill 206, and Senate Bill 191.
Seeing no objection, the bills listed by the Majority Leader be added to the top of the special orders calendar for as of what time did you say, Madam Majority Leader? 12:13. Being that it's probably 12:13, I think it is, the House will proceed to our next order of business. Second reading of bills, special orders. Representative Mitch Bush.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House special order.
Seeing no objection, the House resolve itself. Finally, the committee hold for consideration of special orders. Representative Mitch Bush will take the chair.
You please read the. Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry, haven't done it in a while. Committee of the whole, please come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they're printed and in your bill folders and on your iPad. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the majority leader, and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of Senate Bill 176? What? Well, then I'm looking at the wrong list. Oh, sorry. Hang on. All right, we're in there. Give you back that list. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of Senate Bill 14-212?
Senate Bill 212 by Senator Ulibarri, House of Representative Lee, concerning clarifying changes to provisions related to best practices in bond setting.
Representative Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 212 I move Senate Bill 212. Just came out of the committee this afternoon, and it is a CCJJ bill that makes some cleanups in the statutory language dealing with bail bonds. This thing receives support from the district attorneys, from the public defenders, and from a good part of the bail bond community. I ask for an aye vote.
No, there's not.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 14-212? Okay, all those in favor of Senate Bill 212, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. 212 passes. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of Senate Bill 14-209?
Senate Bill 209 by Senators Heath and Shuffle, also Representative Tyler, concerning the requirements for permissible investments by insurers and loans secured by interest in real estate.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Senate Bill 14209 and ask for your support. There are no committee reports.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 209? Representative Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a fine bill. I ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion? Representative Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Committee, members, we heard this bill in the Business, Labor, Economic Workforce Development Committee report. Good bill, vote yes.
Any further discussion on 209? Seeing no further discussion, the question before the House is the passage of Senate Bill 209. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Senate Bill 209 is passed. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 206.
Senate Bill 206 by Senator Stedman, also Representative Singer, concerning criminal record sealing provisions in connection with relocating the record sealing provisions to a new part, clarifying when arrest record can be sealed, and making other clarifying changes.
Woohoo! Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 206 in the Judiciary Committee report.
To the committee report.
Where did the amendment? So, in the Judiciary Committee, we amended it to clarify that Representative McCann's House Bill 1273 language was aligned with this. We thought everybody was happy, but we weren't quite there, so we finally clapped the door shut with this, and happiness has ensued between the Judiciary, Representative McCann, and the Senate sponsor. With that, I ask for an aye vote on the Judiciary Committee report.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, all those in favor of the committee report, please say aye. Any opposed, no. Committee report passes. Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 206. It makes everything a little bit more efficient, elegant, and I ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion on 206? Representative McNulty.
Draft that amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Singer, we have a series of crimes that are no longer crimes, and some have been subject to the sealing of records and others have not. What are we doing here that is different than those other crimes that deserves the fact that they now have their records sealed?
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative McNulty. I wish we were doing more, but this bill is simply about recodifying language already in existing statute to make sure that everything is clarified in one existing section to help the judiciary, and also to make sure that people who are representing themselves pro se have an easy way to move forward with this. There's nothing to help people with the crimes that are now legal under existing constitutional amendments like Amendment 64, like there is in another bill, but we're not here to talk about another bill. We're here to talk about this bill.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 206? Seeing none, the question before the Committee of the Whole is the passage of Senate Bill 206. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Senate Bill 206 passes. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 191.
Senate Bill 191 by Senator Talk Drop, also Representative Pabon, concerning the procedures for resolution of workers' compensation claims.
Representative Pabon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 191. There are no committee reports.
Is there any Representative Pabon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is a bill about teacher effectiveness and teacher reform. I'm just kidding. Senate Bill 191 in 2014 is about workers' comp procedures, settlements, and lump sum. We had a good discussion about this in the Business Committee and asked for an aye vote.
Any further discussion on 191? Representative Williams.
Members, we had a great discussion in the Business, Labor, Economic Workforce Development Committee report today, and just wanted you to know that this is a process that takes place, and it's been doing it for 10 years now, so this is not anything abnormal. They made some recommendations. Representative Melton is pointing at his watch, so I'll say good bill, vote yes.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before the House is the passage of Senate Bill 191. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Senate Bill 191 passes. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to proceed out of order to consider Senate Bill 186.
Seeing no objection, we'll proceed out of order to consider Senate Bill 186. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 186.
Senate Bill 186 by Senator Schwartz and Kerr, also Representatives Tyler and Hamner, concerning the aggregation of efficiency projects in small communities in order to attract private sector investment through performance contracting.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 186, and there is no committee report.
Remember, we have the amendment. To the bill, please, Representative Tyler. Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move L003 and ask that it be displayed.
Did you give it to them?
L003 will momentarily be properly displayed. L003 is now properly displayed. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. L003 clarifies an issue that was brought up during the committee hearing on page 7, lines 20. It talked about the Department of Local Affairs shall administer the grant within existing programs, but then it went on to say it may expend up to 5% from the monies in the fund. It was very confusing, and Representative Kraft-Tharp brought that up. So this amendment clarifies that the department may expend up to 5% annually in the fund to offset their costs, and I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on Amendment L003? Seeing none, the question before the House is the passage of L003. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? L003 passes. Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 186 is a good bill because it provides the opportunity for rural Colorado to save money on their energy and it uses free market methods to do that. So I ask for your aye vote.
Any further discussion on 186? Seeing none, Representative Lawrence.
down. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would just like to welcome you all to a lovely morning on the House floor. We heard this bill in transportation, and one of the questions that I had was, why wouldn't private sector investments handle this? And why do we need to have the government involved? And why, if it's being funded privately, would you include an up to a 1% fee going to a state agency to manage it? So I still think this could be done with private sector dollars. I would like to hear the sponsor explain why I am wrong.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, these are all private sector dollars. If you notice the fiscal note, it's pretty small. As a matter of fact, it's zero. What this bill actually does is allow the expertise that's been generated by the Colorado Energy Office to work with people in rural communities. For example, this is focused on rural school districts and municipalities and be able to consolidate their needs and then bring in private sector financing and bring in a private sector energy service company to make this move forward. And why do we need to consolidate as part of the questions that we had? And let me use an example. Now, this is focused on energy, actually, so a lot of that's going to be efficiency stuff. But let us imagine, in my neighborhood, I've got a very small road with a box culvert bridge, all right? So if I'm looking at that box culvert bridge and a large company wants to come in that does major interstate bridges, they wouldn't consider doing that. But if I did all the bridges in Lakewood, they might consider putting that together, so that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing this bill.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 186? Representative Lawrence, then Melton. Representative Lawrence.
Nice try. Representative Tyler, thank you so much for bringing up bridges and box culverts. I really appreciate that. Box culverts and bridges are very different. You actually don't interchange them. But what these companies do, and from my perspective, being a contractor, is if they're interested in promoting energy efficiency, what they'll do is look at a wide range of projects, and they will find some that they can pull together into one package.
Representative Lawrence, excuse me for a moment. Members, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What I was saying is these ESCOs who are talked about in the bill that would come in and provide the energy saving work that'll save these schools and local municipalities money, it's their business model to lump projects together, to find a big enough package of projects that makes it worthwhile for them to invest their time and money into making those energy efficient improvements in those buildings. So again, even though it's being, and you said it's being funded by private dollars, I still don't quite understand why, if it's being funded and constructed by private companies using private dollars, they would include up to 1% that would go to a state agency, because these companies, if this is their business model, they're going to find enough projects in an area that's that's in a close enough area that it makes sense for them to lump them all together, that we really don't need government interference in the market. So again, I think I would be a no on this, but I would like further explanation.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The interesting thing about this bill, members, is that the finance companies and the ESCOs came to us last summer and asked for the help of CEO to put this together, because they don't have the vision into the small communities to do this themselves. So the private sector, the financiers, and the ESCOs came to CEO, came to the senator, and asked how we could help them put these projects together. So that's the genesis of the bill. The private sector came and asked us to do it.
Representative Melton, who is very anxious to speak on this bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just have one question because I want to make sure that we can maximize our kids' happiness by making sure that they have warm, hot air and heating within the building. So I'm just wondering, are there solar panels on the roofs when we're talking about the energy efficiency?
Okay, seeing no Representative Everett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's ironic that Representative Melton brought up hot air because I think that's what what we're hearing up here is hot air. The fact of the matter is that there's many precedents in the private sector where they take these small investments and pull them, whether it's a REIT or like a small businessman that like takes a bunch of properties and flips them. I mean, the fact of the matter is the private sector came to the government to do this is not unprecedented. But at the same time, you know, this comes to crony corporatism, which I don't think we should endorse here in this body. So I urge a no vote.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 186? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 186. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Senate Bill 186. Senate Bill 186 passes. Madam Majority Leader? Okay, I got to find the list then. Okay. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1139. 176. Okay, please read the title of Senate Bill 176. This is a great group effort. I'm loving it. 176.
Senate Bill 176 by Senator John Stoltz represents Murray in court concerning crimes related identities and trade in stolen vehicles in connection with making appropriation.
Representative Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 176, and I would ask Ron to please put up a picture on the screen to show why we need this bill.
That's right. The picture is properly displayed on the screen. Representative Murray.
Now, it is too bad that we have to put this small business out of business, but it's also too bad that Representative Waller isn't here to see that we have called him out with this bill to say enough is enough and we have to stop this chop shop business. So with this bill, it creates the crime of ownership or operation of a chop shop and makes the offense a Class 4 felony. It also repeals and relocates crimes related to motor vehicle identification numbers and ID numbers on major vehicle components. I asked for an aye vote on this important bill.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 176? Seeing no discussion, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 176. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Senate Bill 176 is passed. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 127.
Senate Bill 127 by Senator Roberts, also Representative Dorr, concerning statewide radio communications in connection with directing the Department of Public Safety, Department of Communications, de-assessment, recruiting the Consolidated Communication System Authority's new standing Public Safety Communications Subcommittee under the Homeland Security and All Hazards Senior Advisory Committee and Division of Homeland Security Emergency Management in the Department of Making an Appropriation.
Woo! Nicely done. Representative Dorr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I ask that we actually reject the appropriations. Oh, first I I have to move it, then reject it? Okay. I move the move the bill. I move the appropriations report and ask that it be rejected with a no vote.
Any further discussion on the appropriations report?
The bill, then the appropriations report. And then
All right, let me start again.
All those in favor of the
Hold on. It's early.
Start over. Okay,
I
Mr.
move
Kohler.
House Bill or Senate Bill 127 and ask the appropriations report and ask for a no vote on the committee report.
Any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Representative Labuda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I urge a yes vote on the Appropriations Committee report because it saves money. It saves a whole $1. Please vote yes.
I'll tell you why it's a no.
Any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Representative Dorr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The reason I'm asking for a no vote is the printing cost of all these green pieces of paper put in our folder costs more than $1. And so it is easier to get rid of this now and not make it go back to a Senate with an amendment.
Any further
I urge a
discussion
yes.
on the appropriations report? Representative Labuda.
I urge a yes vote.
Any further discussion? The question before us is the passage of the Appropriations Committee report. All those in favor, please say aye.
No, we don't want it.
All those opposed, please say no.
No! Get rid of it. It's $1. No, just get rid of it.
The Appropriations Committee report is lost.
Thank you.
Woo! To the bill, Representative Dorr.
Where do I pay for the paper?
To the bill, Representative Dorr. Please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a piece of legislation that brings 3 committees together to discuss a plan and put together a business plan that will allow our emergency communications to start being spread around the state so that we can have one network of which all emergency comms can start working together, be it fire department, sheriff department, CDOT, CSP, all these agencies. It'll be led by the public safety and Homeland Security. It is a good bill moving forward that we can come to a point to where we can get better safety, not only for our first responders, but the citizens of Colorado. I ask for a yes vote.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 127? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Senate Bill 127 is passed. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Bill 184.
Senate Bill 184 by Senator Schwartz, also Representative Quorum, concerning oversight of the industrial hemp program.
Oh, Madam Majority Leader.
You're there. Oh, I thought you weren't here. I'm sorry.
He only looked like he was asleep. This is a new day. He only looks like Representative Scott.
Madam Majority Leader?
I'm going to Larry Liston.
No. Representative Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 184. There's no committee report.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 184? Oh, to the bill, Representative Quorum.
Good bill. I thought there was an amendment, but apparently not.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 184? Representative Labuda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Quorum, could you tell us briefly what this bill does?
Well, I can show you my
Representative
socks.
Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's basically a cleanup bill, working with the department, taking it so they can more than 10 acres on research, and it's working with the department, working with the university on testing and preventing a great crop for Colorado in the future.
Representative Labuda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could you tell us what kind of crop, Representative Quorum?
If you'll look, Madam Chair.
Representative Quorum.
If you look at the title of the bill, it is called hemp.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 184? Representative Saint.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Colorado. I urge an aye vote on this bill. This is an important bill for many reasons. The USS Constitution, Old Ironsides, was rigged with 120,000 pounds of hemp. And in 1942, the U.S. government made a film called Hemp for Victory, encouraging farmers to grow as much hemp as possible because this is a versatile fiber, and that lately is used to make fireproof materials and bulletproof jackets. I urge a yes vote.
Any further discussion on Senate Bill 184? Representative Duran.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L010 and ask that it be displayed.
Wait one moment. L002 will be displayed properly.
L010.
L010. I apologize, Representative Duran. L010 will be displayed.
No, it was distributed.
Yeah.
So this is a multi-page amendment. We both have to sign off on it. Well, it's one of those things that Don says he's fine with it, so yeah, in the chair.
we're going to do, but it was multi-page.
Shelley, multi-page, nothing changed. No, I'm good.
Good enough.
Good enough. No. North side. No, I'm fine. I'm just letting you know. She said we had to go circle it. We're circling. As long as they both sign up. Let's look it out. Quorum was fine with it, so I was like,
Marilyn, what's the deal?
Hello!
I can't hear you.
it's good.
Okay. We're ready to go.
Okay, all right. The amendment is now properly displayed. Representative Duran.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All this amendment does is it's just a
Representative Duran, could you wait a second, please? Thank you. Folks, please, we need to be able to hear a little better to discuss all these issues properly. Thank you. Representative Duran.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All this amendment does is a conforming amendment with Senate Bill 215, which is the marijuana tax revenue proposal. There were some conflicting provisions, and I hope that it is a friendly amendment. It was discussed in committee when the bill was originally presented. I ask for your support.
Representative Corum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, this is just conforming to 215. It talks to the Department of Ag. This is a friendly amendment.
Any further discussion on Amendment L010? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of L010. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Amendment L010 passes. Representative Corum.
Good bill. Vote yes.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of Senate Bill 184, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Senate Bill 184 passes. Back to my list. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1139.
House Bill 1139, Representative Priola, also Senator Talk Chop, concerning funding public schools based on the calculation of average daily membership.
Representative Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I move House Bill 1139 and the Appropriations and Education Committee report.
To the Education Committee report, please, Representative.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the Education Committee report, we simply pushed out the second year, which was a dual count method year. So the first year, or the third year, will be the new method of pulling membership. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Oh, yes, I do apologize. I am sorry, all. I screwed up. It's early in the morning. I'm not awake yet. Representative Priola, to the appropriations report, please. See, I don't have any
Members, Madam Chair, my understanding is we already passed it. I forgot that we laid this over.
Well, I was told wrong then. I'm getting all kinds of advice up here, folks. Sorry. Okay, back to the Education Committee report. We've passed all of them. We've passed all of them?
Okay, to the bill.
To the bill. To the bill, Representative Priola.
Members, I've spoken personally with many of you, almost all of you. I firmly believe this is a modern 21st century way of counting and compensating our districts and our schools, not an 18th century way. Ask for an aye vote.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1139? Representative Wilson. Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Made you wait for it, didn't I? Representative Priola, how many count dates will there be, and how many audits?
Representative Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Wilson, current law only requires one count date, but it is specific to the October 1st date. This bill doesn't specify any additional count dates. I have an amendment here, if you would like me to run it, to clarify that the new system will have still only one audit date. But as far as the pull dates, they will use the current year's quarters as well as the previous 4 quarters of the previous year to average the count.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have you checked with the Department of Education on this, if it will work under their present system and under the present statute?
Please clarify your question.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have you checked with the Department of Education on how this amendment is going to work, and is it workable with the Department of Ed?
Representative Priola.
Madam Chair, thank you. Representative Wilson, no, I had it in case you wanted to address your concern that you brought up about there not being more than one audit date.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And one other point of clarification, will this affect the 5-year average?
Representative Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My understanding, Representative Wilson, that this has a 5-year average for rurals to help them remain held harmless, because many rural school districts have 5 or fewer students, and losing a couple students would cut in half their membership and would be detrimental. So that has been accounted for that.
That's all right.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And colleagues, I am asking for a no vote on this bill tonight, sadly. I do really appreciate everything that Representative Priola has done with this effort. Do I think average daily membership is the right policy for Colorado for our schools? Yes. Is this the right time to implement it? Probably not. That's the problem. And as you know, in the Student Success Act, we tried really hard to have this policy as part of the package. And as Senate Bill 1292 comes back to us, you'll find that the ADM discussion, even of a study of it, has been stripped from the bill. And I think that's just an indication that our school districts are in a place where they really are not ready to implement new change of this kind and this policy. So as much as I respect the policy and Representative Priola, I am asking for a no vote. Thank you.
Representative Priola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And members, in all honesty, Representative Hamner let me know about this earlier in the evening or the morning. But seriously, I think the reason that the, if you will, the long knives came out against this specific policy in 1292 with the districts, it was quite obvious to me in testimony that all the districts simply focused on this part of 1292. And what that said to me is there is something unique and very reform-minded in ADM and what it will do. This component was in 1213. A variation of ADM is in practice in about 40 other states. And its time will come, because members, it is a 21st century method of compensating our districts. We no longer live in a world where kids stay in the school just down the street and stay in the same district. I myself have 2 different children in 2 different districts, and they have moved schools in the middle of the year. And the school that got them in the seat October 1st was compensated for it, and the school that got them after October 1st wasn't. This would fix that. This would make it a more fair and equitable system for all of our kids, for all of our districts, for all of our schools, and the money will follow the kid. So I understand where Representative Hamner is. I wish you would reconsider. I think we need to continue the discussion over in the Senate. but if this bill were to fail here on second reading, I assure you a variation of it will come back, and Representative Hamner this evening has assured me she will help me in doing that. So I take that as a badge of courage and a badge of honor, and look forward to working with her next year.
Any further discussion? The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1189. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those 39. Did I say 89? 39, sorry. All those opposed to 1139, please say no. No! 1139 is lost. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Kohler, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Speaker, Committee of the Whole begs leave reports under consideration following attached bills being second reading thereof and makes following recognitions thereon. Senate Bills 127, 176, 184, Amendment 186, Amendment 191, 206, Amendment 209, 212, passed on second reading and are revised, placed on the counter for hearing upon passage. House Bill 1139 amended, lost on second reading.
Yeah, it is sad, actually. Representative Mitch Bush.
You've heard the motion. There are no amendments at the desk. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative May. Close the machine with 62 aye votes, 0 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The report of the committee whole is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House proceed out of order to consider Senate amendments to House bills.
See no objection. The House will proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendments to House bills. Mr. Kohler, please read the title to House Bill 1093. House Bill 1093, Representative Duran, also Senator Newell, concerning the establishment of the Creative District Community Loan Fund in connection with making and reducing appropriations. Representative Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1093.
Please explain what they did.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There was some language added with regards to priority when there is a lien, or hopefully, if we're hoping there's not a lien, but if there is a lien, that we make sure there's not a special priority that would be given for these loans. Just a reminder, this bill was about giving creative districts additional money to build infrastructure and do a variety of different things. So I ask for your support.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is to concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1093. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representatives Becker, Kraft, Tharp, and McNulty. The court rule is relaxed for Representative Pabon.
Hey, Representative Pabon.
Because he's a gentleman and is handing the jacket over to Representative Kraft Tharp. Close the machine with 52 aye votes, 10 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1093. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1093 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question before the House is the repassage of House Bill 1093 as amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. See if that fits you, Representative Pabon. Representative Landgraf and Sonnenberg. Oh. Representative Sonnenberg. Close the machine with 41 aye votes, 21 no votes, 3 excused, 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1093 as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1298 to the end of the calendar.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1298 will be laid over to the end of the calendar. Mr. Kohler, please read the title to House Bill 1012.
House Bill 1012 by Representatives Tyler and Giroux, also Senator Gonzalez, concerning income tax credits to promote investment in Colorado advanced industries in connection with making an appropriation.
Representative Giroux.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House concur with amendments from a body that exists below this in the realm of the nature of the world and science as we know it.
Are they just a big black hole? Representative Giroux.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's slime on the side and a little bit of crusting with rust. And there's a fermentation that no one has quite identified yet.
Okay, so the motion is to concur. Can we explain what that slimy black hole did? One of you two.
No, they changed the funding source,
Representative Tyler.
I believe. Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe there's a change in the funding source.
Representative Giroux.
So, members, I don't know, remember, if you remember The Merchant of Venice, if you prick us, do you know what? Do we not bleed? Is that it?
If we
No.
cut us, do we not bleed?
Yeah, if you prick us, what is it? If you...
Okay.
No, that's
Representative Giroux.
No, it's the Shylock speech. Excuse me, Mr. Speaker. I don't remember what they did with the funding source, but it probably, well, it is what it is.
It was not a bad thing. We still got the money we need to do a great job for advanced industries for Colorado.
But-
Jobs.
But there's a small crust, and it's green, and I ask for an aye vote.
Seeing no further discussion, the question for the House is the Motion to concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1012. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine. And members, please vote. Just remember, Hummers will be on Monday, not tonight. Representatives Fields, Gardner, Giroux, and Lawrence. Close the machine with 60 aye votes, 2 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1012. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1012 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repassage of House Bill 1012 as amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Becker, Fields, Gardner, Pabon. Close the machine with 38 aye votes, 24 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1012 as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please open the title. Oh, Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1032.
House Bill 1032, Representative Kagan, also Senator Guzman, concerning the provision of Defense Counsel of juvenile offenders in connection with making and reducing appropriations.
Representative Kagan.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill 1032.
Please explain what they did, Representative Kagan.
I can't remember. House Bill 1032, Defense Counsel for Juvenile Offenders. What did the Senate do? They did some very good things to House Bill 1032, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Kagan, for my perusal of the changes, it is changes in your fiscal note. Representative Murray.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Speaker.
Hold on. Representative Murray has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate amendments did the following: change several dollar figures throughout to correspond with changes in the long bill.
That sounds perfect. Thank you, Representative Murray, for always being on top of the issues and one of the smartest members in this chamber. Seeing no further discussion, the question for the House is Representative Kagan's motion, explained by Representative Murray, to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1032. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative Kagan, you have to go vote.
Oh, yes, I do.
We have bored the press enough that finally they're all going home. Good night, Mr. Sealover. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. Representative Dorr and Williams. Okay, Representative Dorr and Williams on concurrence. Thank you. Close the machine. With 49 aye votes, 13 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent, the House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1032. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is with some trepidation that I move for repassage of House Bill 1032 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House to repass House Bill 1032 is amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative Conti. Close the machine with 41 aye votes, 21 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. House Bill 1032, as amended, is repassed. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1119.
House Bill 1119, by Representative McLaughlin, also Senators Hodge and Roberts, concerning income tax credit for the donation of food to a hunger relief charitable organization.
Representative McLaughlin.
We concur in the Senate amendments.
You want to move that, actually?
We would also move and concur in the Senate amendments.
You move that we concur in Senate amendments. Please explain what the Senate did.
This is correct. They applied their massive intelligence and moved some appropriation thing.
Representative Dorr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate, it really didn't do much at all. What they did is they removed the appropriation adjustments section and they added the word organization after charitable in the title. So we'll concur with what they did and get this passed.
Seeing no further discussion, the question for the House is to concur and send amendments to House Bill 1119. It's a good number. That was one of my bills a couple of years ago. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Conti, Gardner, Giroux, and Wright. Close the machine. With 60 aye vote, 2 members who don't want to fix the appropriation clause, 3 excused and 0 absent, the House concurs and sends amendments to House Bill 1119. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1119 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repass to House Bill 1119 is amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Buck, Del Grosso, Giroux, McNulty, Peniston, Zabo. Representative Giroux. Close the machine with 47 aye votes, 15 no votes, 3 excused and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1119 as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of the House Bill 1178.
House Bill 1178 by Representatives Ferrandino and Del Grosso, also Senators Hodge and Grantham, concerning a sales and use tax exemption for qualified property use in spaceflight in connection with making and reducing appropriations.
Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House concurs with Senate amendments.
Please explain what they did.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate removed the sunset clause, and I urge an aye vote.
Seeing no discussion, and I also urge an aye vote. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members, please vote on concurrence to Senate amendments. Representatives Gardner, McNulty, and close the machine with 43 aye votes, 19 no votes, 44 aye votes, 18 no votes, 3 excused and 0 absent. The House concurs and sends amendments to House Bill 1178. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In honor of Luke Skywalker, I move for repassage of House Bill 1178.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is a repass to House Bill 1178 as amended.
As
Mr.
amended.
Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Becker, Buck, Joshi. Then Buck. Close the machine with 56 aye votes, 6 no votes, 3 excused and 0 absent. House Bill 1178 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please open the Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1180.
House Bill 1180 by Representative Becker, also Senator Talkdrop, concerning sunset review of the regulation of outfitters of taking wildlife and the Director of Division of Professions and Occupations in connection with implementing the recommendations contained in the sunset report provided by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Nice try. Representative Becker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we concur in the Senate amendments to House Bill 1180.
Please explain what the Senate did, Representative Becker.
There's a provision in the changes that talks about alcohol use, and they clarified the definition.
Is there further discussion? Or Mr. Minority Leader?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So it said...
Hold on one sec. Members. Thank you. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Becker said it included the act of excessively or habitually using alcohol. Can you explain, is that what that actually means?
Representative Becker.
I don't honestly remember what the language before it was, but they tried to make it more specific about that you could get your license removed if you were excessively using alcohol. And what it said before was something a little
Addicted or
less-
dependent upon?
Thank you.
Addicted or dependent upon was what was
Addicted
required.
or dependent upon.
Representative Holbert.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to clarify, does this apply to the licensed outfitter or clients or both?
The outfitter.
Representative Becker.
I'm sorry. It's the outfitter.
Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So Representative Becker, it used to say that they could be disciplined if they were addicted or dependent to, and now it just says excessively or habitually uses. I guess I'm trying to figure out what's a habitual user. 6-pack a day, 1 a day, or I'm just trying to, you got addicted to, but then now we're actually just saying habitually uses. So, I mean, to me, that's just a lot more open to interpretation.
Representative Becker.
I think the concern was that addiction or dependence may be hard to prove. So what you're concerned about is excessive use, and that might be more easily identified or addressed.
Representative Sonnenberg. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1180 to the bottom of the calendar.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1180 will be laid over to the end of the calendar. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of the House Bill 1275.
House Bill 1275, Representatives Duran and Quorum, also Senators John Roberts, concerning authorization from the Parks and Wildlife Commission to purchase real property to build a multi-use shooting facility.
Representative Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House concur with Senate amendments for House Bill 1275.
Representative Duran.
And just a reminder, in the House, there was an amendment added that explicitly allowed Parks and Wildlife to partner with private entities in running the shooting range. But as the House amended it, this provision would unintentionally expire in the year 2020. And so the Senate removed this provision from the expiration date. So I ask for your support.
Representative Quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just asked that the committee take a shot at it and pass this.
It was a bad pun any time of day. Seeing no more discussion, the question for the House is the concurrent Senate amendments to House Bill 1275. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative Buckner and Zabo. Close the machine with 55 aye votes, 7 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1275. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1275 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repassage of House Bill 1275 is amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative Giroux, Melton, and Moreno. Giroux. Close the machine with 43 aye votes, 19 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1275 as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1294.
House Bill 1294, Representative Murray, also Senator Stedman and John, concerning student data collection privacy protections administered by the Department of Education.
Representative Murray.
I move to concur with the Senate amendments.
Please explain what the Senate did, Representative Murray.
Well, they made it stronger. I'm delighted. They made it stronger. Removed
Representative Murray, don't please say good things about them.
it was a good thing. I just have to say it out loud just this once. They removed a crime being committed at a school as a reason to collect certain student data. Therefore, CDE may only collect certain student data if it is required by state or federal law. And they clarified that in addition to being prohibited from selling student data, so in addition to not being able to sell student data, the Department of Education is also prohibited from trading, gifting, or monetizing student data for commercial or investment uses or purposes. Is this good policy or what? I urge an aye vote.
Is there any? Representative Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just had to come down here because for 4 years I've heard this hissing and all this negativity towards the Senate. Do you realize how hard they work over there in that chamber? We all sit here at our desk and push a green button or a red button. Do you realize that to vote no in the Senate, they actually have to stand up?
Okay. Seeing no further discussion, the question before the House is to concur in actual good work from the Senate on House Bill 1294. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. That doesn't work in this body. Next year, Representative Holbert. Representative Fisher and Lebsack. Close the machine with 62 aye votes, 0 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs to send amendments to House Bill 1294. Co-sponsor, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for repassage of House Bill 1294 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repassage of House Bill 1294 is amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Fisher, Lebsack, Priola. Close the machine with 62 aye votes, 0 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1294 as amended. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1317.
House Bill 1317, Representative Duran, Nelson, Sanders, Nicholson, Gonzalez, concerning modifications to the Colorado Child Care Assistance Program in connection with aligning eligibility and authorization, addressing affordability, reducing copayments, improving provider reimbursement rates, increasing access to quality care, improving technology, infrastructure, and administration, making appropriations.
Very nicely done, Mr. Kohler. Representative Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House concur with Senate amendments for House Bill 1317.
Please explain.
There were a couple of amendments that were added in the Senate. One was a technical fix to align House Bill 1317 with House Bill 1022. There were also some amendments that were added to continue to incentivize providers to raise the level of quality for those that choose to. When this bill left the House, there was the support of the counties, providers, and the department. That has not changed. That coalition is still there and is intact. They continue to work on some of the issues, and it left the Senate with bipartisan support, so I ask for your support.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is to concur and send amendments to House Bill 1317. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Coram, Holbert, McNulty, Wilson. Close the machine with 46 aye votes, 16 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs in send amendments to House Bill 1317. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for repassage of House Bill 1317 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repassage of House Bill 1317 as amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Giroux and McNulty. Close the machine with 39 aye votes, 23 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1317. Co-sponsors. Now you just have to go.
Mr. Kohler.
Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read House Bill 1350.
House Bill 1350, Representative Ferdinand Olson, Senator Kerr, concerning modifications to criteria for regional tourism projects approved by the Colorado Economic Development Commission through the Colorado Regional Tourism Act in connection with making appropriation.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move that the House concurs. Sorry. I know, it would be so much fun. Concurs and Senate amendments to House Bill 1350.
Please explain why.
The Senate just took out the appropriation clause. There was some additional money that we put in that wasn't needed. The Senate, after my suggestion, deleted that provision, and I'd ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion on House Bill 1350? Seeing none, the question before us is the repassing to concur with Senate amendments. Mr. Kohler? Mr. Kohler, please open the machines, and members, please vote.
Sorry about that. It's okay. Representative, close the machine with 46 aye votes, 47 aye votes, 15 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1350. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1350 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is the repassage of House Bill 1350 is amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote yes. Representatives Navarro, Wright, Pabon, Stevens, Ryden, Giroux, and Buckner. Representatives Giroux, Ryden, and Stevens. Close the machine. With 38 aye votes, 24 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent, the House repasses House Bill 1350 as amended. Co-sponsors. I got all night. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1362.
House Bill 1362, Representative Moreno, also Senator Ulibarri, concerning great-grandparent visitation with great-grandchildren.
Madam Majority Leader, Representative Moreno. Sorry. I thought you were as good-looking as Representative Hollinghorse.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am a madam, but... Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1362.
Please explain what they did, Representative Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, what would I do without the Senate? This bill needed a lot of help, and the Senate came to the rescue. The Senate...
You're out of order, Representative Moreno.
Members, you should... No. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, you should be paying attention. The Senate came to the rescue, came to my rescue. The Senate added a safety clause. Ask for an aye vote.
Representative Sonnenberg.
Actually, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members can, I would actually like to know, seriously, why this bill needs a safety clause.
Representative Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Sonnenberg, I think it's a very good question. This bill was actually brought to me by a constituent who had a specific issue with great-grandparent visitation. I think the Senate, after hearing their story, felt compelled to add a safety clause. So for that reason, I would ask for an aye vote.
Representative Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members. You've heard me talk about this before, that I think we abuse the safety clause as much or too often, and to have a safety clause added to a bill for one family, although I feel their pain and I understand, I've been through that situation. And I'm struggling here with what to do, whether to make a motion to adhere. I would rather not do that. Members, I would urge us not to listen to the Senate on this one by adding the safety clause for one person. I would ask that we vote no on concurrence, and then happy to either adhere or move to a conference committee to have that discussion. But I would ask for no on concurrence so we don't go down the path of abusing the safety clause.
Thank you, Representative Bruce. Representative Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative Sonnenberg. You know, I remain myself judicious with the use of a safety clause. However, those of you that were in the committee can testify to the story of this family, honestly. And I think it is worth considering a safety clause. This family has been through a lot. And this bill, I think, is worthy, honestly, of a safety clause. Because of what this family has experienced. For that reason, I simply ask for concurrence with the Senate.
Seeing no further discussion, the question for the House is concurrent Senate amendments to House Bill 1362. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Conti. Close the machine. With 39 aye votes, 23 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent, the House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1362. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1362 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is to repass House Bill 1362 as amended. Mr. Cole, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote. Representative Landgraf. Close the machine with 62 aye votes, 0 no votes, 3 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1362 as amended. Mr. Kohler, please read the title. Oh, sorry, co-sponsors. Thank you, Mr. Kohler. As always, making sure I'm doing the right thing. Close the machine. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1362. 3.
House Bill 1363, Representative Gardner, also Senator Roberts, concerning the non-substantive revision of statutes, the Colorado Revised Statutes as amended in connection with amending or repealing obsolete, imperfect, and inoperative law to preserve the legislative intent, effect, and meaning of the law.
Representative Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House adhere to its, that the House concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1363, the reviser's bill.
Representative Gardner, explain, I assume, what the reviser told the Senate to do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, now that I have the reviser's attention, does everyone know the reviser of statutes, Ms. Gilroy? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your indulgence. Ms. Gilroy has promptly and duly advised the Senate that there was, actually it's Mr. Morse, Tom Morse, who picked up that we still had industrial banks which no longer exist in current law in a section that actually referred to marijuana law and banks, but it doesn't, that's already there in statute, folks. It's the removal of the words or industrial banks. And so, with the help of not one but 2 attorneys from the Office of Legislative Legal Services, the Senate was able to get that right, and we should concur.
Seeing no further discussion, the question for the House is to concur in Senate amendments to House Bill 1363. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representatives Humphrey and Lawrence. Representative Humphrey. Close the machine. With 61 aye votes, 1 no vote, 3 excused, and 0 absent, the House concurs in Senate amendments to House Bill 1363. I hope Ms. Gilroy will never have to do a bill for you. Actually, she won't have to do a bill for you ever again, so that works. Neither with me either, so I'm right there with you, Representative McNulty. I know. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for a repassage of House Bill 1363 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the question. Seeing no discussion, the question for the House is a repass to House Bill 1363 as amended. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representatives Pedersen and Wright. Representative Wright. Representative Wright excused. Close the machine with 61 aye votes, 0 no votes, 4 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses House Bill 1363 as amended. Co-sponsors.
Get on board.
Close the machine. Madam Majority Leader. Madam Majority Leader.
Okay.
Didn't we repass this already?
We already passed it. Co-sponsors. We're up to next thing.
Do you want to just recess?
Announcements and introductions, if we have any. Representative Duran. And I have an announcement for Representative Duran that you might like.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is just a reminder. Appropriations will meet tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Why don't Representative Duran, if you would, it would please you if you would like, I think we should start appropriations at 9 and the House at 10. But that is the call of the chair, so that's up to you, Representative Duran.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea. So, appropriations will meet today at 9 a.m. And I'm going to go ahead and just read through the bills that will be heard. Senate Bill 2, Senate Bill 5, Senate Bill 172, Senate Bill 12, Senate Bill 99, Senate Bill 155, Senate Bill 192, Senate Bill 179, Senate Bill 188, House Bill 1389, Senate Bill 1395, Senate Bill 159, Senate Bill 3, Senate Bill 215, Senate Bill 190, and House Bill 1398. We will be addressing those tomorrow. Thank you.
Representative Giroux.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, and on my side of the aisle, gentlemen, lady, well, it's all gentlemen. That's all you are. I apologize. So if you could gather those extra bills so that, and if you don't know what the bills are, check with me afterwards so that we have those. 190 is my bills. The other two bills are, well, check with me so that you have them so we're prepared. And thank you for doing what you're doing at, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, 9 o'clock?
Appropriations 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Okay, so appropriations at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your hard work.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until 10 a.m. today.
Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess till 10. Representative Conti, before, well, we're in the middle of a motion.
No, I don't have a motion.
I know. Madam Majority Leader, do you want to withdraw your motion for a second? Madam Majority Leader?
Well,
Oh, I can do that. Okay, thank you. They're all sent home, but members, yeah, just make sure you don't have your stuff on your filing cabinets. Yeah, thank you, Representative Conti. It's always a good thing. Thank you, members. Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until 10 a.m. today.